Hello, you all. First of all, I want to say welcome to the channel to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. And I want to welcome back all of you all who have been subscribers. And then some of you all are just passing through, and I want to thank you for that also. But I want to give you a little bit of update on who I am and then update. Well, it's not update for some of you all. Some of you all don't even really know my story. But I was diagnosed with cancer in 2015 and did treatments, had, the cancer was in the lymph nodes. And instead of getting better, over the time of, over years, I got worse. And by the time we hit 2020, I no longer could work my full-time job. I was a wedding coordinator on the side. My last weddings were in 2018, back to back, but I had a fever that last one because it was just too much work for me. Wasn't contagious, just was running fever because it was just overdoing my body. And then in 2021, I ended up having to move in with my mom because I just didn't have money, and I couldn't get disability because they said I wasn't sick enough for disability, which I don't understand that. And we really had nothing to put on there. We just knew something was wrong. So my doctor started testing because on August 12th, I remember that day in 2021, I woke up and I was feeling okay. And then by the end of the day, I wasn't. And my inflammation markers were off the chart. Sorry guys, my phone is doing something weird. Or it's just falling off the thing. And so they were off the chart. And so they were testing. We found growths in the liver, growths in the nodules, and there were some areas of concern in other areas that I'm not going to go into right now. But that didn't explain why I was feeling the way I was, why I was completely drained. They didn't do anything about the growths because they were like, well, if they're not growing and they're most likely not cancer, and even if they are, if they're not growing, that means your body's doing what it needs to do, because if they go in and check and it is cancer, it'll make it spread. So anyway, they started testing, and we found a couple of years in, a radiologist found a heart defect. And that heart defect was congenital. I've had it all my life, had all the symptoms all my life, also you all. And fast forward now, that heart defect that the doctors didn't really think anything of, it was a rare defect. It's called upper left lobe partial anomalous pulmonary venous return. Has now caused pulmonary hypertension. And the right ventricle, because of the heart defect, is wearing out. And then the pulmonary hypertension is making the right side of the heart work even harder, which, if you know anything about the heart, the right side of the heart is not very strong. And so now, instead of seeing my specialist here, I have to go to the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm in Texas, to see specialists there. One at one hospital, UT Southwestern, they deal with my specific heart defect. They deal with my heart defect. There's a specialist there. And then pulmonary hypertension, I'm going to my hospital, Baylor Scott and White, but it's in Plano, and it's their heart hospital. And I go see them next week. But I have a echo tomorrow, and they're gonna see what's going on with the heart from there. But so that's what's been going on. And so to survive the cancer and then have the heart defect going on the whole time is very interesting, because they would have never done the really strong chemo had they known about the heart defect. But finding the heart defect has explained my last day at work at my job, when I just lost energy and could barely breathe, and the shortness of breath I've had all my life, and just like somebody was sitting on my chest at night. All of that comes from this situation. So that's where we are. And I've been on the phone all day with hospitals, just getting everything situated, making sure that I'm covered, because I don't have insurance anymore. I lost my insurance, and because I have Marketplace, and in order to have it, I had to meet certain requirements that I no longer meet. And so, but they were still paying up until a certain extent. But the good thing is about these hospitals and situations like mine, there's lots of money. I found out that to help with me being seen, I just have to fill out for the right things, you know, the right departments, fill out for the right, yeah, for the right assistance. So I've been doing that today, taking care of all of that, getting referrals. I had a referral to UT Southwestern to the doctor, but before to the specialist, but I had insurance issues at that time. So now they can get me in to see him February 16th. The problem is they need a new referral to get me in at that time, or they have to wait until after that. So yeah, we're getting it all worked out. But it's a weird place to be. Weird space to be. I have always been very, very active. I raised 3 children. I was divorced. I got divorced when they were 7, 5, and 3. Their dad was very much a part of their lives. And but the kids stayed with me. And as a single mom, I was not just part of PTA, I was over Waco City Council PTAs, all the PTAs in Waco. And I taught classes at church, and I became the person at my church to where if there's any ministry that's suffering, you could put me in that ministry. I could revive it, find a leader to take it over, train that leader, and pass it on. And also working full time, and also I'm doing the volunteering stuff at schools. So to go from all of that to nothing has been very, very hard. And it's been very distressing, but it is what it is. My body will not allow more. So while we are trying to figure all of this out, now we know I have pulmonary hypertension, but the pulmonary hypertension, we don't know which one it is. That's why I have to see the specialist that deals with that. And you all, one of the things I've noticed too, okay, you know, like it's October, Breast Awareness Month, and I haven't done anything that has to do with that. But now that I am the heart survivor patient, congenital heart defect patient, you know, person, there's that awareness. And then there's pulmonary hypertension. I've been looking at the Pulmonary Hypertension Association, and they don't have a branch in my area, Central Texas. So I'm thinking about starting one, filling out to see what I can do to start one, because I'm trying to find out information about it, and to find out that there's no cure once you get to that point. And I have a relative who is a cardiologist, and she did say if they don't fix the heart defect in time, the pulmonary hypertension can make it to where they can't do the surgery. Even though the heart defect caused the pulmonary hypertension, which is so weird. So we're at a, you know, I'm 55 now. We found the heart defect 2.5 years ago. And, you know, now we're at crunch time. So just trying to find out how to live with it, believing God for healing at the same time. But, you know, wanting to connect with other people walking through this to see what it looks like. And maybe I can be of some support, because one of the things that I am blessed with is I am blessed with a good support group. And I'm blessed with a lot of teaching and a lot of things. When I say teaching, I mean like just being around a lot of good information that helps me be able to persevere through things and to see the positive and to know that there's always an answer. You know, medical science may not have it, but God has put things on this earth to help us, and I'm all the time on the lookout for those things. So anyway, I know that sounds weird, and that may not sound as complete, but that's the best way I can say that right now. Hope you get it, but I am thinking about doing that, and I'm also going to be a part of a congenital, which congenital, if you don't know, means from birth, heart defect group for that support. I am a part of a cancer support group, but it's weird because that is not the thing we're dealing with the most right now. So that is where we are, and that is, there's some kids that are coming over this way, but that is where I am, and that is who I am. And I just went to the ER this last week because of overload to that right side right here. It was throbbing and pinching, and I needed to make sure that I was going to be safe and okay. So sorry, kids are talking in the background. But anyway, they didn't really do exactly what I wanted them to do, but obviously I didn't die and my heart didn't fail, so I'm okay. So anyway, well, that is all. Just wanted to update you all. I get the scan tomorrow, the newest echo, because it's been about a year and a half since I've had one, and we'll know where we're going to go from there. And I'll update you after then. But I will say I did have to do some forgiving when I went to the ER saying this is what I'm looking for, and the doctor comes back and said what he said. I can't even tell you because it made me so angry, and I finally gotten past that. But I know that when I go to the ER, I am 50% of the time going to get done what needs to be done. And I know that a third of the time that I go to specialists, that they may not be good. 2/3 of the specialists have been great. A third of them have not been good. So I'm just ready for that and used to that. But that is it. Just wanted to update you all. You all have a great day, and remember to have courage in adversity, have courage in pain. Everything we do to move forward is not done in vain.